Today in Grower Garden, I rank every single dinosaur pet from worst to best. If you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button, and let's get straight into the dinosaurs. Okay, the first pet we have at number 12 here is the Pachylosaurus. Yeah, I tried. So what this pet does is it's got a very cool horn, it's got a very long tail, it's a very big pet. Most of these dinosaur pets are usually very big. Now what this pet does is every 80 seconds goes to a cosmetic crate with the highest open time and reduces its chance 81 seconds. There will be a 25.9% chance for the open time reduction to be multiplied by 1.82%. So what that means is if you have a lot of crates and things like cosmetic crates, crafting crates, etc., if you put this dinosaur pet down and you're opening lots of them, this will hopefully help you increase that time. Now, the reason I rank this the lowest pet is because you don't really need this pet. It's kind of useless. You could just basically go offline and the crates open anyway without the use of the pet. So that is what this pet does, and that's why I ranked it at number 12, because it is kind of useless and you actually don't really need it because you can just open the crates offline anyway. I hear if you like the video right now, an Elder Strawberry seed is going to get in stock from Sam. You don't believe me? Well, try it. Test your luck. Like the video, but you have to do it right now. In the next 5 minutes, it's going to go in stock. Trust me. Let's do it. Alright, the next pet we have here at number 11 is the Pachylosaurus. I know, these sound the same, but this is a different pet, trust me, okay? So this one's a lot smaller looking like. It's got like little T-Rex arms. Look at those T-Rex arms, lol. And what this pet does is it's also kind of another sort of useless pet. But what it does is it grants a 6.39% chance to duplicate a crafted item. If you're into crafting items like the good seeds and good gear and etc., because they do have some good gear and stuff, then this is the pet for you. But it's only a 6% chance, which is quite low. And that's why I ranked this pet at 11, because only if you craft items, which not a lot of players do, because you don't really need to craft items, you just need to really wait for good seeds in stock and then sell those seeds. So if you craft items, then this pet is good for you. This is a really good pet, but in terms of your garden and mutations, all of that good stuff, this pet doesn't really do justice. All right, I do actually like how the pet looks. It looks like it has a little mohawk on it. It's kind of cool. But anyway, that's why I ranked this pet Pachylosaurus, don't judge, at number 11. All right, let's move on to number 10. All right, at number 10, I might get a little bit of hate for this one, but honestly, I have a good reason for it, trust me. But at number 10, we have the pterodactyl. All right, and what the pterodactyl does is it makes you jump super high. Look at that, I'm jumping super high. Without the pterodactyl, I don't jump that high. With the pterodactyl, wow, I jump so much higher, guys. No, but that's not what all the pet does. Also, what the pterodactyl does is it flaps its wings and sends out ripples of wind, causing a 3.25 random fruit to get windstruck. Now, the windstruck mutation isn't very good, all right? It's probably one of the worst mutations. It's helpful. It is helpful, trust me. But there are other pets on here that actually have better mutations and give you more value for your fruit. Now, the windstruck mutation is a ×2 mutation, but it also gives you a 20% chance for the twisted, or 18.62 if you want to be very specific. For a twisted mutation, it's applied on top of that. So that could be a reason why this pet gets ranked a little bit higher, but I ranked it at number 10 because you can get the windstruck mutation and the twisted mutation from weather events anyway. So this pet is only really useful. You really want to get twisted like a specific fruit like straight away. All right, I really like how it does flap its wings, and it's got that yellow little I'm calling them mohawks. That's not a mohawk, but apart from that, that is why I've ranked it number 10, and it also makes you jump high, as I was talking before. But that's why I ranked pterodactyl at number 10. Alright, the next pet I have here is a pet called the Iguanodon. I'm pretty sure I said that right. That has to be right, surely. Let me know if it's wrong. And what the Iguanodon does is this pet moves around and stomps on your garden and shakes all your fruits off, and you basically lose all your value for money because that neck is so crooked, it looks like he's been playing on the PC for 500 centuries. Anyway, actually what he does, all active dinosaur pets gain an extra 0.37 XP per second, which is very helpful if you have dinosaur pets. Do a lot of people have dinosaur pets? No, because you got the butterfly, you got the disco bee, you got the kitsune, you got the corrupted kitsune, you've got the dragonfly, you got so many other pets that are better and that everyone uses consistently, and not dinosaur pets. Dinosaur pets, yeah, there's only about 2 of them that are really, really, really good and a lot of people use. So if you have those 2 really good dinosaur pets, you can use this pet just to help it level up. And it's pretty good. It does gain a little bit extra XP, but there are other pets out there that do the exact same thing and are better and a faster rate. And also, don't chew your garden. You're a 24 hours live streamer. No pun intended. Anyway, that is why I ranked the Iguanodon number 9. Alright, the next pet we have here is the Ankylosaurus. I think I said that right, but this pet is a ginormous big boy, alright? He is a big boy. Like, he looks like a rhinoceros. Like, honestly, I probably said that wrong as well. But what the Ankylosaurus does, when another player steals fruit from you, gains a 20% chance you get the stolen fruit as well. Now, that's only really good if you play in a lot of servers with rich people, but a lot of people just play in private servers by themselves. That's why I ranked this pet just lower, because there's not going to be rich people to steal from if you don't play in servers with rich people, if that makes sense. Now, it is a pretty good pet, right? The 20% chance to steal the stolen fruit is quite good, but how often do you steal a good fruit? How often do they steal good fruits? Not very often. So that's why this pet is ranked there. It's not really a 20% chance. It's really a 0.2% chance, because if you think about it, the raccoon has a 10% chance, maybe, happens to pick up an elder strawberry, right? And then it's another 20% chance on top of that, right? After they get that 10% chance to pick up the elder strawberry, for you to get that fruit as well, because you've just gotten it stolen. Absolutely wild. That is why I've ranked the Ankylosaurus at number 8 on the list. I don't know if I said that, but he's a big boy and he looks like a rhinoceros. He's a big boy and he looks like a rhinoceros, and I kind of do like that. Anyway, let's move on. All right, the next pet we have on the list here is at number 7, and this is the raptor. All right, this raptor pet actually kind of underrated. It's very, very common pet. Well, back when you have dinosaur, a lot of people do have a lot of these pets spare, so it makes you just ask them, and you might be able to grab one for yourself. So what it does is it makes you run like Sonic. It gives you a 15% player speed increase. I can already feel it, as you can see right there. Let's see, without the raptor, look at this, a little bit slower. All right, we put the raptor on and we're a little bit faster. So if you want to move faster around, which is kind of helpful if you don't have those teleporting things to get to the gear, pet eggs, you know, that's helpful in crafting. But also what the raptor does, there's a 2% chance the fruit gets an amber mutation after collecting. Rarer plants, though, have a lesser chance to mutate, which does suck. That's a very big downfall, because the rarer plants, those are the ones you want to get the amber mutation on. Amber mutation is a pretty good mutation. It's a X10 mutation. Getting it on rare plants might be a bit difficult with the raptor. That being said, though, it is better than the pets that I've just mentioned before, depending on what you want, because it does give a pretty decent mutation. I wouldn't say it's very amazing, but it's a decent one. X10, pretty decent, but it's only a 2% chance. So if you level this bad boy up and get it to maybe like a 5% chance, it's a bit better. It's a bit better. You can only get that mutation after you collect the fruit. All right, so if you like collecting and harvesting fruits, that is why I would put raptor on. Okay, good, because you don't need to leave it on, because it doesn't have a cooldown. You don't need to leave it on your farm. Only when you're collecting, you can just plop it on, collect all your fruits, and then take it off. It doesn't take up a spare slot. That's why I like the raptor, and that's why I ranked it a little bit higher. That is why I ranked raptor at number 7. Let's move on. All right, number 6, we have the Stegosaurus. This guy looks like the hedgehog for dinosaurs. Head is very small, but you know, with age, Jay, you're gonna grow up. All right, Jay, you're gonna become a big boy. All right, you're gonna become a big boy. What Jay does, well, the Stegosaurus does, is there's an 8% chance harvested fruits duplicate. Okay, that's very good if you when you harvest fruits. You can just plop it on, just like I said before. You can just plop that pet on and harvest fruits or collect the fruits, whichever way you want to think about it. And it doesn't take up a pet slot, which is really good. Now, there is also an additional 5% extra chance for prehistoric type fruits to duplicate. If you have a prehistoric type fruit, this pet is quite good. Now, a lot of people don't have prehistoric type fruits anymore because that was back when the game first started-ish, and that was when the dinosaur event was around. But if you want to duplicate your really good fruits like this elder strawberry here, imagine it had all the mutations on it. I could just plop this I could plop this pet on, and I could try and collect the elder strawberry, and I'd have almost a 10% chance for it to duplicate. And if that gets duplicated, there, boom, easy 3 trillion or whatever shekels, just because it duplicated and it dropped. So that's why I ranked it at number 6. It is actually a pretty decent pet. Now let's go to number 5. Alright, at number 5, we have the Diplosaurus. I think I said that right as well, because the PH is an F, not a Diplo. Oh, it's raining. Okay, cool. But yes, this one is cool. This looks like straight out of Jurassic World, and I really like the design on this pet. Like, those ears, quite cool. It's very intimidating. Now, what the Diplosaurus does is every 13 minutes, it opens its frills, right? Even though its frills are already open, and spits out venom. Now, the venom spreads to 3 other random pets and advances the cooldown by 40 seconds, or it grants 600 XP. 600 XP is a decent amount. Like, this pet right here is at age 19, and 600 XP would almost be 5% of the current XP bar, which is pretty good. And every 13 minutes, if you're AFK for a long time, that'll be very useful. Now, the venom spreads to 3 other random pets. So not just one pet, 3 other pets, and cooldown by 40 seconds, very helpful in a long period of time. That's why I ranked this pet at number 5, because it's useful not only to Dinosaur Pets, other ones before us, which is why they're a little bit lower, the other pets before it, but they also help every single pet in the game. That is why I've ranked Diplosaurus at number 5. Alright, the next pet we have is the Triceratops at number 4. Now, these next 4 pets after the Triceratops, and including the Triceratops, are kind of dependent on what type of thing you are looking for. Whether you want to grow fruits, whether you want to harvest fruits, whether you want to mutate fruits, it's really dependent on that, because they're all each to their own. So I'd switch them out or use them together. The Triceratops at number 4, I've got it, because every 3 minutes it rams into 3 random plants and advances their growth by 33 minutes. Alright, so it basically grows your plant. It basically grows the plant straight away. And it also has an additional 15% to do it again, time, to that same plant. Very overpowered if you've just planted a very rare egg, a very rare plant, and it's fully grown, and you need good fruits on it. Especially if you're trying to do the mooncat method or other big fruit methods. You do need this pet. This pet is very helpful for those types of methods, and that's why I've ranked it so high on the list, because of those methods. Alright, if you don't have any mooncats, I do have a few mooncats. I'm going to be giving them away on my live stream for the next update, so make sure you tune into that. That is why I've ranked Triceratops at number 4. Alright, at number 3, we have one of the biggest dinosaur pets in the list, and that is the Brontosaurus. This guy, it looks like a giraffe with the size of his neck. And what the Brontosaurus does is pets hatched from eggs have a 5% increase in base size and weight. This size is capped at 30% per egg and does not apply the Brontosaurus. So if you like to hatch lots of eggs, this pet, quite good. Alright, because a lot of free-to-play players love to grind for eggs and love to buy the eggs and then hatch the eggs. Hopefully get a really big pet, because this is before you put mutations on it, like mega mutation or the even larger mutations that you can get in the game. So that is why I've ranked Brontosaurus at number 3. It kind of goes hand in hand with the Triceratops at number 4, so depending on which pet you like the most, that is where I'd put it. 3/4, but I've ranked this one at 3 just for the sake of this video, because I'm trying to help the free-to-play players out. Alright, at number 2, we have the famous T-Rex. Now, the T-Rex is one of the best pets in the game by far. Everyone wants one. It is a very, very good pet. I even use the T-Rex, and what the T-Rex does is every 20 minutes it devours a random mutation from your garden, then roars and spreads that mutation to 3 other random fruits in your garden. Very, very, very good. If you have good mutations, you have lots of plants. It's actually better if you have no plants like this. You have one really good plant like this, because then you know, oh, it's a random mutation. Okay, it's going to go to this plant, and this plant has a lot of good mutations, you know what I mean? So it's going to pick up one of those mutations and spread it to 4 other random fruits. So you got to make sure you do have other fruits in the garden, otherwise it won't really work. That is why this pet is really, really good, and I've ranked it at number 2. And it's also a T-Rex, man. Like, T-Rexes are the pinnacle of dinosaurs. Pinnacle, alright? But that's why I ranked it at number. And our final dinosaur on this list, the best dinosaur in Grow a Garden, the Spinosaurus, okay? And there is a reason why I've ranked this over T-Rex, okay? Don't give me hate. The Spinosaurus, what the Spinosaurus does, every 19 minutes, it devours a random mutation from 4.5 fruits, so 4 fruits, which is just higher than the T-Rex, and then roars and spreads that mutation to 1 random fruit in your garden. Only 1 random fruit. However, the reason I put it over T-Rex is because it prioritizes applying mutations to a favorited fruit. So, if you have a normal garden, which a lot of people do with a lot of plants, that's what I mean by a normal garden. A lot of plants, a lot of mutations. You can favorite those really good rare plants like my elder strawberry, my giant pinecone, which I do have and I'm going to plant. Okay, let's actually plant that right now. Giant pinecone, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Giant pinecone. Yes, it was in stock just 30 minutes before I recorded this video. If you like the video, it's going to go in stock right now. Anyway, we just planted the giant pinecone. It prioritizes your favorited, plants. And that is why I've put Spinosaurus higher than T-Rex. However, there's an argument that you could say T-Rex spreads it more than 1 random fruit. Actually might be more useful. However, you're going to get the good mutations on your favorited plants, right? So that's why I'd say that Spinosaurus is better, because if you want those favorited, good mutations, it'll mutate your favorited fruits. That's why I put it over T-Rex, all right? And if you want to see every single pet ranked in Grow a Garden, go click this link right here. The video should be popped up right on your screen. Have a great day. Roar!